You'll be coming to my wedding too, right, Shay? I made sure to send you an invitation as well.
Well, of course I'm coming. And now that we're talking about your wedding, have you gone and picked out what dress you're going to wear on your special day, Claire?
Yep, I've already decided.
And that dress isn't some kind of a raggedy dress, right?
Raggedy? I'm sure I already explained this to you before, but that dress is a family heirloom. I'm sure that the design is pretty old compared to what people wear today, but I think it looks beautiful.
No way. No way. This wedding is going to be all about you, Claire. There are plenty of really cute rental dresses that you could be choosing from, yet you want to use that old and smelly dress? Your family is very wealthy, right? Why don't you have them pay for you to get a dress of your own design made? And then me again, huh? I hate the both of you.
And I really don't care how people as low as you think of us. It's not like you have to see us ever again, right?
Well, if you don't want to see us ever again, then stop trying to make us pay for that wedding.
That has nothing to do with you guys and us. That has to do with the responsibility your family has after what you all did.
Ugh. If this is how you're going to treat me, then I'm going to go online and tell everyone what you've done to us. Then everyone who feels sympathy for my family and I will rally with us and make sure you pay for what you've done.
You really think there are others out there who would sympathize with you? I've already talked with plenty of people already about what you guys had done to me, and so far not a single one of them has sided with you. And what about your friends that you've spoken with? Did any of them say they felt for you?
None of them did. But that's just because they all don't understand.
That's not true. They do understand what you did, but they know better than to side with a couple of bad eggs.
You're calling us bad eggs now? All I frickin' did was hit you in the face with a cake. That was it. Yet now you're taking all of that way too far. Are you actually that screwed in the head?
You're asking me that? Not only did you guys deceive me and try to get my money, but in the end, the most heartbreaking thing for me of all was that you, Shay, you ruined that dress.
And you getting so upset over an old and stinky dress getting a little bit messy makes no sense to me.
That dress which you kept calling old and stinky and said was raggedy before, do you have any idea how expensive it is? Because if you did, you would never say anything like that about it.
You want me to tell you how much I think it's worth? At the very most, $50.
I don't think any dress could be worth that little. That dress was my grandma's, which she bought while she was on a little vacation to Spain. It's from one of the most famous brands in the world and is worth more than you've ever made in your life. Back in the day, it was worth $7,000, which in today's money is around $50,000. It's considered an antique now because that brand is no longer around, which only triples that price.
What? I never knew that.
Even if you didn't know what the price of a dress like that was, you knew just how important it was to me and to my family. Yet you still had the frickin' nerve to ruin it in front of my whole entire family. That dress was first worn by my grandma, and then she passed it on to my mom, who then passed it on to me. Recently, my grandma hasn't been doing too well, so one of the last memories I wanted to give her was of me wearing her wedding dress. But you came in and not only crushed my dreams, but crushed my grandma's dreams as well. I was going to refrain from trying to completely destroy you, but the moment I realized you would never learn your lesson until your whole entire world crumpled around you, I knew I had to fight. So I'm going to make sure you pay for this dress to be cleaned.
What? What the hell? You think the cost of cleaning that dress is going to bother me? That'll only be a couple hundred, right? If that's all I'm going to have to pay out of my pocket, I could do that in my sleep.
Did you already forget what I was just saying? The dress is an antique. A couple $100 to clean it up just isn't going to cut it.
What?
And if the cleaning isn't able to take care of all the staining, then what will happen? You'll have to pay for the dress that you destroyed.
No way. I already have to help pay for the wedding.
This is what you and your family asked for, though. So don't complain to me about the price that is to be paid for screwing around like that.
No! Claire, please don't be so cruel to me. I will make sure to learn my lesson and change. If I have to pay that kind of money, I'll have to go into debt. And that kind of debt at my age, my life will be over with.
You think I'm listening to you right now? You went and ruined my family's heirloom dress and laughed about it like something worth over $200,000 being ruined wasn't going to bother me. How about you go and ask your family to take all responsibility for that debt, and then you can all pay it off together.
They're not going to listen to me anymore. Claire, what do I have to do for you to get you to stop asking for us to pay you so much?
You could always off yourself. Then your family would have to pay me for everything instead, and you would no longer have to worry. But besides that, there's nothing that you can do for me now. I'm a pretty heartless person after all, so those are your only options. I don't care which one you choose as long as I get the money I'm owed. Now please, sit around and wait with your family while my lawyer gets all their things together and gives you guys a call. And please, don't As for Camden's father, his plans for retirement were completely shattered. He could no longer afford to think about winding down his career. Instead, he had to return to work, diving back into a job he had probably hoped to leave behind. His responsibility was now to help pay for the wedding, something he and his wife had both agreed was okay to ruin in the first place. The sudden reversal of fortune for Camden's family must have been a harsh wake-up call, one that left them scrambling to make ends meet. Camden himself also faced a fallout that was far more personal than just financial. His reputation among his friends, colleagues, and even the people he used to work with took a nosedive once the truth came out about what had happened. People he considered friends quickly distanced themselves from him when they learned the details of what he had done. The truth was hard to ignore, and Camden's fall from grace was swift. His professional life was no better. He soon found that his place at the office was no longer secure. He had essentially lost his standing in the company, and soon enough he had no choice but to quit his job and leave town. Camden's decision to leave town wasn't just about finding a new job, it was about escaping the whispers and judgment that followed him. He was searching for a place where people had not heard about what had happened, a place where he could start fresh, but I had a feeling it wouldn't be easy for him to outrun the consequences of his actions, no matter where he went. Months passed, and eventually I received the money for the dress that had been ruined during the wedding fiasco. They had paid the amount that was agreed upon, and the wedding was finally fully paid for. Whether the money came from loans, personal savings, or some other source, I wasn't sure, but something told me that Camden's family would not be enjoying a comfortable future. They were unlikely to recover from this financial and personal disaster without enduring lasting consequences. As for me, after everything that had transpired, I got back to focusing on my own life. I threw myself into my work once again, determined to build up my savings and get back on track. Even though it had been a difficult time, I knew that my financial stability was the only thing I could rely on. In the midst of all of this, I found myself reconnecting with an old colleague from work. We had lost touch for a while, but we began meeting for lunch every few weeks. He didn't know anything about my family or their financial situation. What mattered to him was that I worked hard and earned the respect I deserved. We would talk about work, life, and everything in between. Over time, those lunches became more than just casual meetups. I could feel my heart start to beat a little faster when I saw him. It was a strange feeling, something I hadn't experienced in a while. As we laughed and shared stories over lunch, I began to feel a spark I hadn't thought possible. After everything that had happened with Camden's family, it felt good to focus on something positive for a change. Something that made my heart race with anticipation. Thank you for watching and listening. We hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe. Also, feel free to leave a comment about what you thought of the story. We look forward to seeing you at the next story.